Hi guys, thanks so much for watching. So today's video is a baby names ideas video, and I have a lot to, of course, the second I start talking, I've got hair in my mouth. I've got a lot to get into. I'm going to talk about a lot of name ideas for boys and for girls. I'm going to share the stipulations, or like the rules, I guess I could call them, that we have for ourselves, just like personal preference, things that a name has to fit into. And we're going to talk about our baby name in this video because we do have one. I just have a lot to say, so I'm going to keep the intro short, but I hope that you guys enjoy this. I hope that you find it helpful. If you do, please hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing to join our fam here. I would love to have you. If you are new, there is a playlist below for all my pregnancy videos, so check that out and let's get started. I'm going to start out with like the rules, stipulations thing I was talking about that we have for picking a name. I just have my phone because I don't want to forget anything, you guys. Sometimes I'm working on a video and there are just so many things I wish I would have said, so I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen in this one. But I am so picky when it comes to picking a baby name, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. It's a lot of pressure, like picking someone's name for the rest of their life, so I just want to make sure I pick a name that fits for us. And there's also a ton of names I honestly am like obsessed with that I would pick, or I wouldn't pick, I'm going to tell you why, that I like as much as a name I would use, but I just don't see us saying it every day. I don't see it as a name for our family or our kid kind of thing. If that even makes sense, probably not, but hopefully some of you guys can relate to that. I don't know, sometimes I just don't feel it. Like, I love it, but I don't feel it for us kind of thing. And then I also am obsessed with Southern names. A lot of you, if you are like a regular viewer, then you probably know that. But my husband, his name is Chad. If you're new here, he is just not about a first name that's Southern. And it's only because we don't have family in the South. We don't have any like Southern affiliation whatsoever. So it's just like, it doesn't make any sense for us. Like, we aren't Southern and like all of that. Oh, and something else, I don't know why I'm so drawn to first names that end in an ER, but our last name obviously is Beuter, that ends in ER. And so he's like, we can't do that. It sounds strange having an ER and then an ER. And again, like, I don't care, but he does. Oh, and then I also, this is something some of you guys probably won't agree with, some of you probably will, but there are a lot of names, especially like on Pinterest, if you're scrolling through for baby name ideas, that just have like such a cute feel to them, such a baby feel to them. And honestly, I love a lot of those names. But I also feel like it's important for me, at least, to pick a name that I think would work for someone regardless of how old they are. I don't want something that sounds strange for a baby, but I also want to make sure that I pick a name that's like appropriate for someone who's 40 kind of thing. I'm gonna go a little bit of like a back and forth thing for the names for boys and girls, just because I have like a notes sheet going that I've had forever. So the first two names are for a girl, and they are Sadie and Savannah. Obviously I'm having a boy, so it's not a name I would use right now, but I love those names and I always have. And again, Southern names for sure, especially Savannah is obviously a Southern name, but I love those names so much. And honestly, this started happening a few months ago. There are two people that their first names are Sadie and Savannah, and they comment on almost all of my videos, and they always leave the sweetest comments, and I'm just like, that is a sign that I should use one of those names in the future. Like, I feel like that is so random for that to happen, but I'm always just like seeing their names and just such sweet things, and I think it's just really fun. The next one is also for a girl. It's Penelope, and this is a name that I really like for like a little kid, but I don't see it so much for an adult. I know that Penny is like the shortened version of it, and I really like that too, but I don't see that as like someone in our family kind of thing, but I do like that name. I'll go to the boy names. Oh, this is a name, you guys. Honestly, I thought I was going to use this name for like several years. I wouldn't say several years, probably around like 1 or 2 years, but the name is River. I love that name for a boy. I think it's the cutest name ever, and it ends in ER, so that was sort of like a no from Chad, and I just kept talking about it forever and ever and ever, and so he came around to it and he liked it too. That name I've shared with family. I've also shared Francis with family, just like 3 or 4 people, and no one has liked those names. And so I kind of learned, like, I'm gonna stop sharing names until we have a name, which I have a name. I just stop sharing like ideas with people, because if someone knows like that is the name, I'm not changing it, I don't think that they'll say anything bad. I'm also not the kind of person that's just like a people pleaser where I need everyone to like a name, because I feel like that's impossible in the first place. So Frances and River are names I probably wouldn't use just because I haven't had a single person tell me they liked them, but I still love them. And Frances for a little girl, I think is just so cute. The next one for a boy is Hudson. And again, I like this one, but I just don't see myself saying it every day. There are a lot of like similar names to Hudson, but I like it, but I guess I'm just not obsessed with it. And the next one is Wyatt for a boy. Again, it's a name that I like, but I just don't see it for our family kind of thing. The next one after that is Sawyer for a boy, and I really like that name. That is one I'm on the fence about for like a future kid if we have a second boy. But I also feel like it's starting to get really, really popular, and I'm not that into like extremely popular names. I guess like Sophia is kind of an example. I love that name, but it has gotten so popular that I just wouldn't use it. The next one for a girl is Caroline or Carolina. Obviously it's super southern, so I know Chad is not about that, but I love how that sounds. It just like rolls off of your tongue and is super pretty. The next one for a boy is Haynes, and I know Chad, he was not about that name, but I think it's really cute. The only thing is I'm not that into names that end with an S, because it's like, what am I trying to say? But like Haynes's toy, Haynes's lunchbox, like how things like that sound super natural almost, if that even makes sense. And the next one is Anderson, and I like that for a boy but also for a girl, because shortened it's Andy, which again I think is really cute for a boy or for a girl. And that is a name I'm kind of on the fence for a future baby, but I really like that one. One I love but I wouldn't use is Charlotte, because we already have a family member whose name is Charlotte, so that's the only reason why I wouldn't use it. But I love that name. Charlotte is just like the cutest. I really like names that they can assume how to spell it kind of thing. Like it's popular enough that everyone knows how to spell it, but it isn't extremely popular kind of thing. So, oh, this next one is one that Chad talked about for about a year. Like he talked about it for such a long time. And it's Sullivan, and he was just obsessed with it and talked about it a lot. Like I would say River, he would say Sullivan, and this was obviously like way before I was pregnant. And I just didn't see it for our family and our baby. Shortened, it's Sully. And isn't that like an Australian name or something? I don't know. He feels like we can't have a southern name since we aren't southern. I feel like we can't have like an Australian name since we are Australian. I really liked Thatcher too, and he said absolutely not to Thatcher. I don't know, it's a little bit out there, but it isn't like so out there kind of thing. Harlow and Capri are names I also really like for a girl, but I don't think I could talk those names into Chad, or I don't think I could talk him into those names. I feel like whenever I bring up a name that starts with an H, he almost is just never about it. So I feel like everyone has their weird like things when it comes to names, but I for sure have noticed that if it starts with an H, I can almost always guarantee he's not gonna go for it. And those are all the names before I get into what's going on with our baby name. I didn't save a whole lot, and that's just because if I said a name to Chad and he didn't like it, I didn't even save it, or if I had it saved, I erased it. I want him to be as obsessed with the name as I am. So yeah, that's everything, right? Before I get into... Okay, so what's going on with our baby name? We do have a name. We've had a name since 14 weeks, which is probably fairly soon for some people, but since it's our first baby, I just felt like I had to have a name. I like obsessed over it. So yeah, that's when we decided on a name, and I want to share it with you guys so bad, but honestly it's up to Chad, and he told me he wants to wait until the baby's born. I obviously want to tell you guys like sooner than that. I bought a necklace that has our names on it. I bought a ring that has the baby's name on it. I want to wear those things so bad, but he knows where I stand. I know where he stands. I'm not going to push him on it, honestly. I don't want to like force him into sharing the name, obviously. I hope that he comes around and says that he wants to share it. And it's just because when I talk about the baby, like I want to say the name instead of him. So yeah, there may be a baby name reveal in the future, there may not. I'm not saying anything anymore. And if he starts saying that he wants to share it, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, it's totally up to him. I'm not talking about it. I'm not pressuring him. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just gonna be patient, wait around and see if he comes around. Honestly, I think he probably will. And he doesn't watch a lot of my videos, so he won't even see this. And I don't think he would care. I'm gonna tell him that I'm saying this before I upload it. I don't think he would care, but yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say, but that is what's going on with our baby name, and you might find out about it before the baby's here. You might find out oh my gosh, you might find out about it when the baby's here. So of course, I'll keep you updated and let you know what's going on with that. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have like random names that you want to share that are ideas for your baby, if you want to share a name that you've already used, if you want to share like those stipulations and personal preference rules that you have, write them in the comments below. I love to read through comments. I know a lot of people that watch videos love to read through comments too. So yeah, share whatever you want down there. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. Again, the pregnancy playlist is below, so check that out. And I will see you right here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye!